So after the military stepped in and took over, they used another minor incident up in northern China to invade more parts of China. One of these included the old imperial city, or the ancient city where the emperor used to live before they moved everything to Beijing. This was Nanking, and Nanking was a large city, but not a mega city. About 600,000. About half the citizens were murdered by the Japanese, including women and children. Many of them raped. There are stories about the children being impaled on the bayonets and carried around like trophies by the Japanese. The Japanese, to this day, many of them say that this never happened. It was a fabrication of the Chinese. However, there were English and American missionaries working in that region of China who verify all these stories. And I'm going to show you a short film, which may be a little disturbing during class, about the rape of Nanking. One of the most unpleasant chapters of this World War II era. But moving on. England and Russia, or U.S., United Soviet Socialist Republic, the USSR, tried to reach China, but for England it was a long, long supply chain. They had a long history of working in China, but they mostly pulled out their men and were sending some humanitarian aid. The same with Russia. Neither of them were willing to invade China to repel the Japanese at this time. And the U.S. Congress in America, we didn't help the Chinese because we had passed the Neutrality Acts, which were one of your vocabulary words, which was a series of laws that were to keep us out of conflicts and keep us neutral. Next slide. So Europeans and Americans were more focused on what was going on in Europe, what was going on with Germany invading Poland, which we'll talk about next class, Czechoslovakia, Austria, and the alliance that it made with Italy. Japan at this time had declared that it would liberate Asians from the European colonial masters, which means that places like Vietnam and even Australia were on the list to be invaded by Japan. Were on the list to have the Japanese come in, throw the Europeans out, and take control of those countries. It invaded all the former French and Dutch colonies, and it signed, most importantly, the Tripartite Pact, where it was, if you can look in the top photo, you see the German flag, the Japanese flag, and the Italian flag together. The Tripartite Pact was a pact between these three countries, which would lead us to declaring war. If you declare war on one of them, you declare war on all of them. So when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, we declared war on Japan, and Germany and Italy declared war on us. But that's all for this lecture.